Welcome to Unshakable with Human Design, the show dedicated to helping entrepreneurs use human design to shift from hustle to flow without sacrificing results. Come here to become an unshakable human and build an unshakable business according to your human design. I'm your host, Nicole. Hello, and welcome to Unshakable with Human Design, everybody. I'm your host, Nicole. And we are here back by popular demand because we did this last month. And I have to say, when I say that the response was overwhelming, I mean the response was overwhelming. I have never gotten so many messages, so many comments on our YouTube channel when we posted the episode, emails in my inbox and DMs to my inbox and on Instagram saying, please give us more of these. What I'm talking about is the transits. We are going to do these every single month. At the start of the month, we're going to give you the weather report, basically the cosmic weather report for the coming month. So what are the transits? Let's run through that. For those of you who are new to this and you didn't listen to last month's episode, what are the transits? We get most of our energy from the sun. That's the most powerful energy. That's why your sun sign is so important for you. The gate that your conscious sun is in is the energy that you were born under. So that's why there is so much weight put on it. The sun transits a gate in the human design mandala wheel every roughly 6 days. So every time it changes, we all get what we call a background frequency or cosmic weather, as some of us refer to it. It is the energy that's all around us. So if you think about it, babies are being born every minute. They are being born with their unique human design chart, with their imprinting of the specific gates that are currently in the transits while they are born. We are experiencing that now. It's getting imprinted on the kids that are born right now. Right now, there's somebody being born, and where the sun is, what the Earth gate is, what the Mars gate is, all of that is coloring who they are. It is their energetic DNA, so to speak. But what we're all feeling is we're feeling the energy of this now. We're just feeling it all around us. So what's cool about the transits is as the sun transits the gates every 6 days, we get a new sort of vibration. We get a new sort of quality to the energy that we're all experiencing. This is a collective field that we are all in. So inside our human design lab, this is something that we do in depth every 6 days. All of our members get a readout of the gate. They get experiments, ways to start to incorporate this into their design and to understand these things better. Because what it helps us do is it helps us study our activations. So if you follow the transits, you will be able to see all of your gates at some point throughout the year because we go through the entire mandala in a whole year. So if you're following the transits and studying them and contemplating them and noticing what's happening around you, you become wiser about the activations in your chart. So that's why this can be so powerful, is it can be a study of our activations. Not only that, you get to see how it affects you and understand it from that aspect. But when you start looking at it like this is what's happening to everyone right now, you can see it in the world. These themes start to show up in the world. So you get to observe it, which is really, really powerful. So understanding what these are and understanding what we have coming is always just a really valuable tool. It's one of my favorite things to do. I really enjoy going through the transits. I love doing it inside the Human Design Lab where we go into it in depth. If you're interested in that, you can DM me and I'll send you some information on the lab, or go to nicolelano.com/lab and you can read all about what we do in there. But also, if you're interested in the transits, please go to nicolelano.com/November transit or DM me transit on IG, and we'll send you a free transit calendar for the month. So we'll send you what the gates are, a little recap of what we're doing in this episode if you want to keep that so you can follow along throughout the month. Okay? So let's talk about the transit, right? We are in November. How did that happen? How is it November already? I really am sitting here in total disbelief that we have 2 months left in this year. It's crazy. But here we are in November, and it's Scorpio season. Now, why this matters is everything that falls under the sign of the astrological chart, there's a vibe and a theme to it. And you'll see that kind of plays with the gates in the human design chart. They are tied to a zodiac sign as well. So Scorpio season, which I'm recording this at the end of October, and we are in it now. we switch over to Scorpio, I think around October 22nd is when it officially transits over. And we are in Scorpio season. Here we are. What does that mean? Now, I am not an astrologer, so I'm going to give you very high level stuff here, and I leave it to the experts to fill you in on the details if you're interested in that. But what I will give you here is that Scorpio is ruled by the planet Pluto, or the dwarf planet Pluto is demoted from real planet to dwarf planet. And Pluto is the planet of inner truth and transformation. It is a deep and dark planet. It's where we've hidden all of our stuff. It kind of represents those layers underneath it all. It's very, very deep and sometimes dark stuff. It can be the stuff that we've repressed. So what Scorpio represents is a lot of that inner work, the deep work. People who are born under the sign of Scorpio, or like me, I'm a Scorpio rising, they're magnetic, powerful, and sometimes intimidating. People who have a Scorpio in a prominent place in their astrological chart might be seen as very deep and very intense. Now, Pluto is also a transpersonal planet. It is not personal because it's so far away. It is very much part of everything. It is a transpersonal energy, not a personal energy, like the ones closer to the Earth. And the way that I interpret that is that the Scorpio energy is good at helping other people go to the depths of their soul and pull out what needs to be healed, what needs to be transformed. Pluto is about the evolution of the soul. So a lot of those same themes go with the Scorpio. So like I said, they can be deep, they can be intense, and so can the gates of this month. The gates of Scorpio season certainly fall into this category. One other thing about Scorpio is that when we talk about that deep work, it can be about karmic wounds. Karmic wounds, the wounds that we have through our relationships and the ones that we are here to heal through our lives. So that kind of leads us really well into the first gate of this season, which is at the very beginning of the month. We kick off the month on the first of the month with gate 44, which sits in the spleen. We're wrapping up all the spleen gates. October was all spleen. We are wrapping that up at the very start of November with gate 44. And gate 44 is very much about relationships. It's very much about deep personal relationships. It's also about collaboration. So if you have gate 44 in your chart, this is a theme for you that you are here to master. It is something you are here to learn about, understand on a deep level of your personal experience with it. So collaboration, relationships, this also has to do with the fear of the past. And that's why I'm saying the karmic wounds. We don't want to repeat the problems that we've had in the past, the relationship patterns that we've had in the past. It could be anything from the past, but this is a very relationship-oriented gate. The gift of it can really be about seeing the talents in others, being able to collaborate and understand how to bring out the best in people. But it can also be the fear of the past and the fear of those past wounds coming back to us. That karmic cycle can cause us to stay in the same karmic cycle. Then we move on from gate 44. We move on around the 6th of the month. We go to gate 1, which sits in the G center. Now, this whole month, I will also say, while not completely, it is very much individual in nature. We're getting into the individual gates. Now, gate 1 is an individual gate, and it is possibly the most individual gate in the entire body graph. It sits right at the top of the G center, stretching to the 8th gate, which is the gate of creativity. But it's about individual expression of your creativity. I am this. This is who I am. It is the unique expression of you. So it's about being an individual. And then we move on to gate 43, which is about individuality in the mind. It sits at the bottom, at the base of the triangle of the Ajna center. And this is the gate of insight. It is mental insight, and it is individual again. This sits in the Ajna center, so it is a mental expression of individuality. How do you see the world? How do you take knowledge and make it into a formulated insight, an aha? But there's something very much of an individual expression of that there in the 43rd gate. Then we move on to gate 14. Gate 14 sits in the sacral center, right in the center. We're moving up the center of the body graph there. This is really telling here just the power in the individuality that's here in this month. And that's part of what Scorpios are seen as, is these powerful individuals, right? It can be intense. They can be intimidating because there is this powerful force behind them. And Gate 14 represents that in a big way, because this is our first view at the individuality of the sacral here, which is one of the individual sacral gates. And this is the gate of possession in great measure. So it can be seen as the gate of luck, the gate of good fortune. And it's about good fortune when you're doing the right things for you, where it is the fuel for individual expression and direction. So with this, understanding that it's going to be really important, particularly if you are a sacral, to be doing the things that feel right to you, that you are truly in response to. I have this gate. If you're not doing what feels correct for you, what is truly in response for you, then it throws off your entire direction. You don't know where you're going, and you can actually experience everything, every single gate, every single activation. It's all potential, and it's the potential to have or to not have. So a lot of times people will come to me, they're like, I have that, but I don't feel that. Yeah, I have that gate, but I don't think that's true for me. Well, to have or to have not. The potential is there for you to have it. So taking a close look at, why do you not have it? What aren't you following that's allowing this potential to truly rise in you? And a lot of times, most of those people, when they feel like they have a potential that they are not seeing, I see this gate, I know that I have this in my chart, I don't see it in my life. But then when I ask them, do you feel it in your heart? Is this something that you have felt is a potential for you? When we all talk about my greatest fear is not living up to my potential, does it ever feel like that might be one of the potentials for you? Like potentially you have more energy to give to something that truly lights you up, to some individual expression? Always looking at that, to have or to have not. It's always the question. And if you have not, but you have the gate, then that is something for you to look at. Now, moving on, we get to another individual gate of the sacral, which is the gate 34, the gate of power. The gate of power is about personal power. So many people in the coaching industry, in the entrepreneurial space, that list empowering others as one of their gifts, one of the things that they sell, one of their aspirations. I want to empower people. There's lots of activations in the chart that speak to this, but gate 34 to me really says it, which is, if you don't empower yourself, you cannot empower anyone else. So if you're having trouble selling empowerment, if you're having trouble stepping into it, look at yourself first and foremost. And that's where human design has a huge impact. If you're having trouble empowering yourself, design can help you empower yourself better than anything I've ever seen, because it helps you see your potential. It helps you see what is sitting there, because you might say, I'm afraid of not living up to my potential, but you don't actually know what that potential is. And then we put it in a chart form. We put it in front of you and we say, these are your potentials. And you go, oh my God, I knew. On some level, I knew that. And I would say it's like having a conversation with God, where if God told you, no, these are your gifts, it'd be like, I knew that all along, but you couldn't believe it. And it helps you sink into that and trust them in a new way, and also gives you tools for how to navigate that and how to bring them out in yourself. So gate 34, we're going to see power in the world or not. We're going to see empowerment or disempowerment. We're going to see people doing things either because they should, the not self, or we're going to see people stepping up and saying, this is what I believe, this is who I am. This is what I'm truly in response to. So it'd be interesting at the end of the month. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. This will be over Thanksgiving. So hopefully the Thanksgiving family table conversations are not people in their not selves at that point, exercising power in a way that is out of alignment and throws people off. But it'll be interesting to see this. It'll be interesting to see how power plays out at the end of this month. And then the last bit of the month, on the 29th, we shift into gate 9, which is the gate of details. The gate of details is about paying attention to the little things. And this is collective. We get out of the individual energy, which is going to be looking inward, the navel gazing. This is the let me know about me. Let me understand me. Let me create this from me. We do that for most of the month. It's about me. It's about individual insights, individual creativity, being an individual fuel to create something, individual power. And then we shift to the collective, the details. What is needed? What are the fine-tuned details? Gate 9 people notice very little things. They care about the little things. So what little things start showing up? What little things are brought to your attention? Because how we can use this is we start to look at these gates, we notice what's happening during that time, and you can start to notice if something is coming up if you're in a low expression or a high expression of that gate. Are you experiencing the conditioning of the background frequency right now? So if you have these gates open, so I have gate 34 open, it's one of my bridging gates. It is a big potential shadow theme for me. So be sure I'm going to be paying attention to gate 34 when I'm in that transit. Am I being affected? And it's going to be something that is very powerful, however, very subtle at the same time, meaning it will have a lot of effect on you. You just won't know that that's what's happening. So that's what the transits can do for us. If I'm starting to feel really pulled into things that are disempowering for me, or feeling like I need to exert my power, or feeling like I'm pushing and forcing without really responding in the moment, without really listening to myself and my true guidance, then I know that that's a pull from the conditioning field of what's happening right now. It can help us be aware of why we are being moved and how we are being moved in any given moment during the transits. So I hope that you found this helpful. I hope that you like these episodes. I love hearing about it. Please let me know. Let me know on Instagram what you thought of this one. Please download the free calendar. So we've laid it out. I didn't give you all the dates because I try to make these succinct, and we do have the download for you. So the free transit calendar, you can go to NicoleLano.com/November transit, or you can DM me transit, just that word, just transit, on Instagram, and the little bot will send you the link for the free calendar, and you can follow along with us during the month. I would love to know how this is all showing up for you. Let me know. What are the gates showing up for you as? And if you want to go deep into this and you really want to dig into your gates and into these transits and into the other aspects of your design, start living by your design and experimenting with it. That's what we do inside the Human Design Lab. We would love to have you in there. It's an amazing community. You can go to NicoleLano.com/lab if you want to check that out. We've got it all linked up in the show notes for you. I am so appreciative of you. Thank you for being here, making it all the way to the end of the episode. Remember, in order to have an unshakable business, you must first become an unshakable human. So thanks for letting us help you become unshakable with human design, everybody. We'll see you next time. If you love this episode and you're a fan of the show, please show us the love on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you're listening to the show, and leave us a review. And if you'd like to connect with other entrepreneurs on their human design journey, join our free Facebook community, Human Design for Entrepreneurs. Go to NicoleLano.me/podcast links to join the group, book a human design reading with me, or access our free human design resources. We'll see you there.